ready to discover a lifestyle designed for over 50s that lets you do you? Be inspired in your new home with high-quality finishes and relax in a resort-style community with no stamp duty or exit fees. There's more time for you to do you.
Easy.
Good morning and welcome back to PPL Brisbane. This is Dylan Kimlin live with the men's open doubles. We've got the semi-final underway. The gentlemen are just having a quick warm-up. We're going to have the duo closest to camera, Travis and Wes Vine, and they're taking on David Richardson and Lucas Pascoe. Ben, let me tell you, this is going to be a very exciting game. These are all top-notch players. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We're super excited for this one. We just saw this combination here of the Vine brothers get a well-earned win over the combination of Rocco and Pointing, and now they're taking on obviously one of the rising stars of our sport, the young gun Lucas Pascoe, and led by his experienced partner, level-headed partner in David Richardson. So we're looking forward to this combination, this semi-final here for the spot in the gold medal match later on this morning. All four of these athletes and the two teams going to be competing later on this afternoon in the Major League Pickleball event that we are extremely excited about. And looks like we're about to get underway here. Trav Vine, ball in hand, ready to rock. How do you see this one playing out, Dylan?
Morning, everyone. We're going to have the Masters.
I'll just wait for this PA to finish.
They're in a fantastic spot, aren't we?
Yeah.
If we can have all Masters doubles walking towards the marquees and sitting under the purple marquees, we're going to start the player briefing in about 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're watching the stream, player briefing, 5 minutes, purple marquee. That was from our overlord. Our leader, Adam there for the PPL. Doing the hard work behind the scenes.
So to answer your question, so David Richardson, who's playing with Lucas Pascoe, commonly known as the Iceman.
The Iceman.
Yeah, he's always calm. Like, if I was going into like a, medical emergency, David's the kind of person you'd want to have operating on you because he is never fazed by anything.
And his background is?
I don't actually know what he does.
Okay, well, if he's not a surgeon, I don't want him anywhere near
me.
Yeah,
fair enough. But so it's actually a really interesting combo with him and Lucas Pascoe because, believe it or not, Lucas, although he's very young, he is very composed. You rarely see him. We talked about emotion last game.
Yes.
This is one of those games where you got full statues versing each other. These players are all super calm. All that's rolled out, called out by David Richardson.
Just long, yeah.
But in regards to playing styles, so we saw the Vine brothers last game. We know what they're going to do. They're very consistent. They'll only convert on the speed up if it's what we call a green light. So if you think of a traffic light system, green light pickleball is essentially where if you get a great drive opportunity or a great smash opportunity,
you take it.
Yeah, but only then. So I think the Vine brothers played that sort of methodical pickleball.
Okay, we're not seeing anyone running a yellow, taking the risk.
Oof. Well, Lucas plays more yellow line pickleball, so
that's that young, brave mentality,
correct.
Right?
Yeah, he'll jump at the opportunity when he gets it. David Richardson and Wesley Vine, a good little bit of trivia for you. They've had some legendary singles battles over the years. Both are very prominent singles players. And we talked yesterday about different play styles, that more tennis versus badminton and table tennis squash play styles you see in pickleball. David has some of the nicest backhands
on display as we speak.
Yeah.
Oi.
Sped it up. But his backhand and forehand drives are, if you want for like a classic clinical drive of how to do it, I'd recommend watching David. It looks beautiful.
Roger Federer-esque.
His backhand is, yeah, one-handed backhand. He gets great topspin on it.
I'd love to see it. All right, Trav Vine serving against the youngster Lucas Pascoe.
Pop up. Good recovery. Richardson drops it in, brings Travis in.
Oh, it's a really good read there from Trav. He stepped into the court in that space and took on that short ball, but just couldn't handle the power drive.
Yep. Definitely easier said than done. And it's a very common thing in pickleball. You don't want to be caught striking a ball while you have momentum. Generally results in a pop-up or an out ball, and Travis, unfortunately, in that case, got caught moving forward. The experienced David Richardson putting it through the gap.
Geez, we're right in the thick of it here, aren't we, Dylan? There's obviously the show court here that we've got on your live stream in front of you, and just adjacent to court number 2 that's already quite animated for a Saturday morning match. But obviously it is semi-final time, so it is crunch time.
Yeah, you're right. We've got... I use the term sheep stations or playing for sheep stations quite a bit, and
Very Australian.
we're very much getting to that point of the tournament. This is an interesting thing here, so it would be fair to say that probably Wes has a higher dinking percentage than David Richardson, especially that backhand dinking. David, you notice that it's called freezing. So what freezing out is where you deliberately don't hit the ball to a particular player.
Masters players, we're going to get started under the purple marquee in 2 minutes. Masters players under the marquee in 2 minutes.
And it looks like that both sides are respecting Lucas and Travis. But I would say, from a tactical point of view, Wes and Travis they would want to be in a dink battle. That suits their play style.
You mentioned that last game as well, or last match, sorry, where the Vine brothers, they love a good dink and the speed up play, and you mentioned it at the very, very start of this game as well. You see a firefight here, really good battle, back and forth. Snags the foot on the way through, I think, of Lucas Pascoe. Yeah. And the first bit of animation we've seen here today from Wes Vine. Fantastic battle there.
Solid defensive effort from Pascoe, but that's very classic Vine brothers play. They'll just get the opposition on the baseline and just keep you there. The idea is you want to keep your opposition back as long as possible, and Travis and Wes are very solid in that particular field of play. A drive from Richardson catches Travis on the elbow.
Bit of a breeze starting to pick up here at UQ.
Yeah. Welcome one too. I think it'd be quite warm on the courts, hey?
Agreed. We're full concrete courts here at UQ. Fantastic facilities, and we can't thank them enough for supporting our fantastic tour. But yes, the heat will definitely be absorbed from the pickle roll surface. Shout out to them as well for providing the goods. Lovely Travis. Shot to the corner. Trav Vine unleashes the backhand.
Yeah, and that's actually so hard to do, especially when you got that momentum swinging left to right. Trav hitting that mid-air volley backhand straight into the corner of the court. Masters at work here.
How's the awareness there, though, from Lucas Pascoe? You just sees the ball. It just takes out a PPL
You're talking
sign.
about awareness.
I'm so... A commentator's curse? Does that one count?
I don't know.
We had a few of them yesterday.
We have the briefing starting under the purple marquee now. Masters, we have the player briefing starting under the purple marquees now.
He's got a big smile. He knows
he's on. I was going to say, he knows he's on live stream. He knows he's on camera. Shout out to the Pascoe family.
We had a pretty funny moment in QPT last week where one of the players copped a ball. It was like the most ridiculous play, and immediately the players went back and made a GIF of it. So
see, it's just this generation, right? Like you can't put anything into the world, live stream, social media, whatever, without somebody turning into something.
Yeah,
But,
he had a
look,
good laugh
unfortunately,
about
Lucas
it.
Pascoe, he may be in the firing line for that one.
Yeah.
The commentator's curse that we mentioned earlier, we had a couple of chats yesterday. Usually we refer to the commentator pumping the tyres and celebrating one of the athletes' fantastic plays, and mid-rally or the next play they make an error, so we blame that on the commentator. But again, we're in the grey zone there of saying, really good composure there and awareness, and he takes out a PPL sign.
I don't know if that's on us.
I don't think it is on us.
Pascoe had a bit of a Gumby moment, but the one thing I do have to point out that's just changed, because it happened last game too, was the Vine brothers opted to use more of a stacking play style. They've opted to do that again. You can see them both on the right side of court. Currently 5-3.
It's been a bit of a stalemate at this score for a little while now, as the teams side out, go back and forth and back and forth. And the stacking, that's obviously a tactical play.
Well, this is quite common for when you get closer to the gold medal games. We can expect games like this where it's a real, I call them battles of attrition. Like the players just grind it out until someone finally cracks. Good speed up. Slows it back down.
Battle of the patience.
Yep.
We see it again.
And yeah, Vine and Richardson definitely.
Whoa.
Oh, Trav.
Really interesting there. Lucas took advantage of the freeze out. And just put it back on Trav. Somebody who hasn't been. Yeah, I was going to say somebody who hasn't been, in contact with that ball or within the play for a little while. Indirectly zoning out. Firefight here. Defense from Richo. That's all David Richardson right there.
Like
Boy's
a
trying to be a
goalkeeper.
little bit cheeky.
That was very hard to defend that too. And Richardson, he didn't swing the ball. Swing the paddle, my apologies. He had a very rigid strike with his paddle, and that is so difficult to do. Speaking of difficulty, look at these hands go. Travis Vine, fist pump, happy. Notice how Pascoe deliberately avoided the
barrier.
The barrier, yeah.
No, absolutely.
Talking about awareness, he's got his OHS or WHS hat on.
Head in the game now.
Yeah, avoiding that trip hazard. Richardson serving. Stack once again from the Vine brothers. That roll.
Tape tickler.
There it is.
Just catches Richo off guard. Draws the error.
Yeah, a bit of a lapse in patience there from Richardson. He's normally very good in waiting for the right shot. Speed up. Bang.
Oh, it's trouble when the ball just floats in the air there. And Richardson takes full advantage. Just punishing that ball almost between the uprights of Trav Vine. Back and forth we go. Just the 1 point in it at this point in time for game one of this Opens doubles semi-final. Oh, rare error there. Didn't have a lot of pressure on him there, but Lucas Pascoe just finds the net.
Yeah, he
a little bit filthy with himself.
I think that's the age and experience coming into play. Just that's the little subtle things. So just understanding the score at this point in time. You don't want to be doing anything crazy. Just consistency. Dink Crowley, we'll see that.
Oh, speed up, Trav Vine. Didn't put everything into that, but just enough to beat the outstretched David Richardson arm.
Pascoe has a wonderful double-handed backhand. It's almost like a table tennis shot. He rips the ball, and it's very hard to return. So we might see that happen now as he is actively taking on Wes Vine with the dink rallies. Straight across, you'll see that double-handed that I'm talking about.
It's a lovely little flick at the tail end of his swing, even on his forehand as well.
But you wait till he speeds it up, the pace he gets on it as he poaches.
Oh, just sharks his teammate there.
Well, there's what we call a poach. So he gets the forehand opportunity, which is technically the right play to do. So you notice David actually stood back. He let him go. Unfortunately, Lucas couldn't execute the shot.
I wonder if that's a tactical move there from all teams and players within the sport is, obviously you're getting a rally and you're getting a groove, right? Like, you allow your teammates to continue with their flow, and obviously unless the ball's going directly to you, like we saw then with David Richardson, you kind of just step out of the way and allow your teammate to see if they can close out the point.
It's exactly what it is. So it's physical momentum. Pop up here, Vine with the lob recovery. We'll see if they call it out or not. But basically, yeah, it's your physical momentum. So in that instance, back then, Pascoe was moving towards the ball anyway, and he had that high percentage forehand drive. So our players are just having a chat with our official Dimitri here. See what the end result on that call was. It's currently 7-4-2. Nice drive, second opportunity. Travis striking the ball very well. And one thing we notice when you start watching the open players, notice how yesterday we had quite a few balls just strike the top of the paddle. A lot of the games today, I haven't seen that happen at all. All of the shots typically land on the middle of the paddle, and as a result, a lot more of a cleaner shot.
Dalabona, Siaki, Quinn, and Saunders. Can we have you coming to the tournament desk? We have you playing on court 3. Quinn, Saunders, Dalabona, and Siaki.
He's like ripping a lawnmower cord or something when he strikes it. Just absolutely turfs the ball into the corner.
Absolutely winding it up. They've really targeted that left-hand side of pass, haven't they? Right into that corner. Trav Vine taking full advantage, and like you say, he is ripping it. And you just got to. The reaction to the youngster, they have found a little bit of a crack in the defence, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it's probably more of a respect thing because Pascoe's forehand is lethal. Don't get me wrong, his double-handed backhand is also very good. But as we can see here, great recovery. Back to the dink, speed up. A to B, no.
Oh,
beautiful
there it is.
recovery.
The double-handed backhand, right on cue.
So I think the Vine brothers are deliberately targeting. Well, I'd say it's the backhand of both players because earlier in the game, we saw a lot of backhands to David Richardson, which is what we're seeing right now. And I imagine this is going to be another long double-handed double backhand rally, Richardson losing it. And I think if we're looking purely from a statistics point of view, I would say that Wesley's got he's got more points from the backhand dink rally than David has. Straight back into it.
Again, just opt in at freeze, Trav Vine out. Just a few errors creeping into Richardson and Pascoe's game, allowing the Vine brothers to take control and just clarifying the call and the service order.
Yeah, it should be on the left side of court. So I think what's happening here is that Wes and Travis have control, not in regards to, like, both teams are playing very well, but purely from a play style perspective, great pressure coming in, dink rally underway. Oh, look at him go. Pascoe taking both the boys on. Richardson finishing. Good rally across the board. But I think in regards to play styles, what we can see is that the duo of Pascoe and Richardson are playing to the beat of the Vine brothers drum. And that's something they'll need to change should they want to get a victory here.
Speed up there from Pascoe. 5-9 scoreboard. Awareness there from Wes Vine.
Yeah, rare driving error from Richardson. Normally he applies a lot of topspin on the ball, so as a result those drives usually dip in at the last second. Unfortunately not the case in this instance. Second server, 5-9-2.
Flirting with that sideline for that serve. Yeah. Speed up there. This time, Richardson doesn't make the same mistake, driving it down towards Trav Vine.
Our cameraman caught a stray then. He was sitting off near our kitchen cam, taking some great photos, and copped the ball to the forehead.
Well, if he was on the ready, on the trigger, he would have snagged a fantastic shot there at the Franklin X40.
Well, it's probably fair to say he had the best look at the ball as it came hurtling towards him.
And it is on once again, ding back and forth.
If we had some sort of analytics for these games, Ben, I would say Wes Vine's backhand dinking has been elite. He has made minimal errors and he has caused multiple on his opposition. Something to be aware of when the Major League Pickleball games start later on today.
A couple of tape ticklers back to back. Yeah, agreed. And that's the consistency, the experience that we were talking about earlier on. Oi, the nutmeg there from Trav Vine. And the Vine brothers will take that first game. And the advantage in this open doubles semi-final. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. A couple of commercials coming your way.
Yep, we'll get into some from Engage and Halcyon. Once again, thank you to them for being involved with Pacific Pickleball Brisbane.
Ready to discover a lifestyle designed for over 50s that lets you do you? Be inspired in your new home with high quality finishes and relax in a resort style community with no stamp duty or exit fees. There's more time for you to do you.
And we're back. Thank you once again to our sponsors for Pacific Pickleball Brisbane. If you've just tuning in, combination of Travis and Wes Vine took game one. Good game to watch though. The duo of Richardson and Pascoe put up a good fight and they'll be looking to build some momentum for game two. 0-0-2, something we should probably mention too. All of these players will be featuring later on today in the Major League Pickleball. I believe Richardson and Pascoe represent the Brisbane Breakers. And the Vine brothers are from the Gold Coast Glory. Our official Dimitri cops the ball to the shin. LBW. First
Obviously,
points.
like you were saying there, Dylan, all four of these athletes and competing for their respective clubs, the Brisbane Breakers and the Gold Coast Glory, but that event this afternoon is on an epic scale of epic proportions for this sport in pickleball. Pacific Pickleball League, Pickleball Australia, partnering with Major League Pickleball. The vibe around this community right now is extraordinary, and just how positive has it been on social media and within this space as well. Like, can you talk us through a little bit about what that looks like, what it sounds like as Trav Vine goes bang down the middle?
Yeah, it's been very, very positive. I think the community has, in the last 2 years, the tournament space has skyrocketed, but also the broadcasting. Like, I've been doing the broadcasting for the last year or so, and even in that short period of time, how quickly the game's changed. As we have a nice rally breaking out, Pascoe unrelenting, but just little things have drastically improved. Like I mentioned yesterday, our referees, we've got an elite squad now. The the vibe around the pickleball community is almost, how would I word it? It's like we want to see our players shine. We want our players to be able to represent the country and the various states that we're all involved. We want rivalries to form, as we have our 4 teams duking it out today at the Major League Pickleball. Brisbane Breakers being the home crowd here for the Brisbane event at PPL. They've also got the Gold Coast Glory, Melbourne Mavericks and Sydney Smash. Speaking of smashing the ball, Vine gets a chance, puts it away.
I think that's what's the most exciting part, right? It is the birth of something new here in Australia in this sport, from the PPL, from the PAA. It's just a massive, massive step forward, and the opportunity to showcase the talents of our sport and the talents of our athletes as well on a world level. The fact that the community is so tight-knit and so supportive of just the success of each and every person involved in the league and the direction of the sport, I think is going to be on display and showcased this afternoon as we have, these 4 clubs head-to-head right here in Brisbane at UQ on the centre court, streamed across Australia and the world, and I think it's going to be showcased with everyone getting around it, supporting, regardless of the results, just the epic step and opportunity that this sport is taking this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time indeed, and if you are in the local Greater Brisbane region, I'd highly recommend coming on down to St Lucia University of Queensland Tennis Club. We thank them very much for granting us these wonderful courts to play on. We also have to give a big shout out to Pickle Roll for providing the awesome court surface that the players are currently playing on. The PPL team were building the court yesterday like a giant jigsaw piece, and they've done a tremendous job. Speaking of tremendous job, players currently on court putting on a good show for us. Trav Vine has had so much success with that forehand drive, securing those opportunities when he gets every chance he can. Close game. Game 1 was taken by the Vine brothers. And there's that dink rally. Like I said earlier, Vine has been just relying heavily on this backhand
The change up there.
And that was a great shot. He opened up the paddle face, applying the slice to it, kicking it off to the right. Beautiful placement. Currently 4-2-1. Where's Vine with the third shot drop? Pops it up a little bit. Pascoe invites Travis in. And that's what I mean. Even though Wesley Vine has had a lot of success with his backhand dink, Travis had tremendous success with his forehand drives.
I'm going to say there's a great awareness there from Trav Vine, who just recognises simply he's watching. You can see he's watching the action of his opponents. Rather than the ball itself, he's watching the action and looking for the visual cues to make the adjustment, to take advantage, as he did so just then. So we see a timeout called there by David Richardson and Lucas Pascoe, just to talk the tactics and keep the tournament alive at this point in time. Obviously, semi-final time, do or die, winner through to the gold, the losers through to the bronze. But we'll go to a couple of commercials really quickly. Thank you for joining us once again, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll roll through as the athletes come back on the court very, very shortly.
Yeah, well, I think we might even skip the commercial break because they're going to just come straight back on. But
just like that, rapid. But so just continuing on with Trav Vine and his awareness, he's taken advantage of a few balls there that Pascoe has just flicked up a little bit higher and just allows Trav Vine really just to open up the shoulder, get a good, solid and quick downward trajectory on his swing.
Straight back to that dink rally. It's got to be the tail of the game thus far. Vine having that opportunity, couldn't convert. Second serve up.
That one just snagging the corner of the court. Like David Richardson had to make a decision on the fly, and he's chose to avoid it. High ball just snagging pinpoint perfection into that corner.
Well, something we need to consider with players of this caliber is the revolutions they apply on the ball. So there's a great example, right? So Travis absolutely ripping that forehand, but because his paddle's going in an upward movement, it applies topspin to the ball. So, as we nearly see Richardson trip up on copying his partner Pascoe.
I just don't think these signs deserve the treatment they're receiving.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But as a result, so when the players are applying that topspin, at the last second it does dip down. So the Vine brothers having success in the last 2 instances with exactly that. Dink rally underway once more.
Back and forth. Errors creeping in for the youngsters' game. See this again. Trav Vine, David Richardson sent it deep. I'm going to target the young Pascoe again and see if a ball just sits a little bit higher, if the Vine brothers take advantage as they have done in previous occasions in this game. So freezing out Richardson there. Flicks up. Oh, the tape tickler just sends Wes Vine out of sorts, draws the error, and the side out is achieved from Pascoe and Richardson. This time they go on Richardson. Back and forth we go. Line to line to Pascoe now. Dink rally again, flicks it up, and again Trav Vine. Who else puts it away?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been, it's fair to say, so I guess there's a bit of a theory regarding doubles pickleball, but generally you have a support player and an aggressive player. So in this instance, Wes Vine has been setting up everything with the dink rallies. Nice recovery there. But Travis converting a lot of shots, whereas I think with Pascoe and Richardson, they're still figuring that out. Seeing a lot of the balls go to Pascoe. I haven't seen an Ernie yet, which is I'm surprised because we've had so much dinking.
An Ernie, Dylan.
Yeah. So hopefully,
elaborate, please, sir.
So it's named after a player in America, but essentially what an Ernie is it's a movement when if you do a front-on dink, you can essentially jump over the kitchen and land up next to the net, and you can strike the ball mid-air. So it's a rapid placement ball. It's a highlight play. So when we see it occur, nearly a highlight play there for Wes Vine. But you'll know it when you see it because it's very exciting. Just like an ATP, as we got the fellas, Lucas is looking through his beloved barriers to try and find the ball.
Just not his friend today at all.
Yeah, you can't see it on the camera, but we've got a ball in the barrier at the moment.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you, Dylan, as well. As soon as you said an Ernie, the first word that came to mind was Bert.
Yep.
And I thought Sesame Street, and off we went.
Bert's another shot.
Oh, stop it.
Bert's a lot harder, though. You don't see it very often.
Fight. Oh.
Good hands. 5'8", Pascoe and Richardson. Good little passage of play here for him. I say that. Commentator's curse strikes once more.
Keep your tally.
Yep. Tally thus far, though, 8-5. Travis and Wes 3 points away from progressing through to the gold medal. Ooh. It's a unnecessary speed up there by Wes Vine, straight into the net. He'll be looking to get back to his usual reliable ways. Just waiting from our score from a referee Dimitri. Dink rally once more underway. Speed up. Oh, Pascoe got jammed up, nearly pulled up the defensive effort.
We have Gray, Porridge, Lee and Kuznetsov playing on court 4. Please come to court 4.
That's a side out. Pascoe serving. And we've got a driving error there from the side of David Richardson. A bit high for him. Can be a bit awkward striking the ball while it's floating up like that. Dink error works in the favour of Pascoe and Richardson. They get another point, 3-point deficit. 6-9-2. Hop up. Defence.
Takes a lot to beat the experience of David Richardson in defence, doesn't it? The advantage switches this time. On the offense is Pascoe and Richardson. They take full advantage. What a turn of events there on the baseline. Back foot. Richardson and Pascoe. Zillions there. Defense to offense conversion.
Yeah, that was really well done. So hard to do too, especially when you've got quality opposition sitting at the net. Now roll, recovery. Oh, Richardson.
Rajpal, Costin, Fairbanks.
Okay.
We'll see him try and go down. We hope he's all right.
I think he might be cramping up. I saw him stretching it out yesterday. But I imagine we might have a timeout here, ladies and gentlemen. As a result, we're going to quickly run to a commercial.
Discover a community designed for over 50s that lets you do you. Ready to discover a lifestyle designed for over 50s that lets you do you? Then you're ready to discover a Stockland Halcyon community. Be inspired in your new home with high quality finishes in a community filled with resort quality facilities that lets you unleash your passions. Whether it's relaxing with new neighbours that have become good friends or travelling on a whim, knowing your community is secure. With no stamp duty, no exit fees, and no worries. There's more time for you to do you. Discover a Stockland Halcyon community today.
Hello and welcome back. This is Dylan Kimlin. Once again, I'm just letting you know we've just had a medical timeout here called on the side of Travis and Wesley Vine. Unfortunately, Travis looks like he has a back injury. Something's tweaked. I'm hoping it's not a slip disc or something like that, but he looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. So what will occur here is a medical timeout. Every team can call one during a game, during a match rather, and they have one medical timeout, and that lasts 15 minutes, and they will most likely take the entire duration of that, especially because Travis looks like he's in a fair bit of pain. We've asked for a physio to come along. What I might do, ladies and gentlemen, because we are in the middle of a game, and medical timeouts typically take the entire 15 minutes, so I might just cut the broadcast for now. We'll find out what's happening. We obviously wish Travis the best. He's a fantastic player, but also a great guy. So I'll restart the stream as soon as we find out what's happening, but it'll be within the next 10 or 15 minutes. So thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll be back live soon.
Aren't you hot? No, you are hot.
Alrighty, we are back. Thank you once again for waiting. We've just had a medical timeout on the side of Travis and Wes Vine. Unfortunately, by the sounds of it, Travis hurt some of the muscles in his back. So we had our physio come and do what they do. And it seems like Travis is good to go. So it's currently a close game, 9-7. And I imagine what we're going to see here is Wes is going to take priority and take majority of the shots to close this game out as quickly as he can, if he can. Meanwhile, David and Lucas are going to target him as much as possible. That's ours wide. Wes gets his head out of the way, secures the victory, and that was a long medical timeout for about 20 seconds worth of play, Ben.
Yeah, and you can even see just Trav walking off there, a wounded but successful soldier there, and we congratulate the Vine brothers on their semi-final victory. There's going to be a lot of love have to be given to the Vine brothers in their lead into their gold medal match later on this morning. But it is David Richardson and Lucas Pascoe through to the bronze medal match. Congratulations to them on the successful tournament so far. Obviously, not getting all the bickies today, but another good, successful result and healthy touches as well leading into the afternoon's event.
Yeah, I think that has to be said as well. Both teams did really well, regardless of whether they're through to the bronze or the gold. Across the board, they'll be pleased. I know I was just speaking to David then during the medical timeout, and he's got some things to assess. But these guys are all professionals. They know what they need to do. But we will cut the stream here for now. We're back live soon with the gold medal games. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you can catch us once again on the PAA Facebook and PAA YouTube channel. Thank you. Until the next game.
See ya.